The greatest bank heist in Japanese history. A well-armed crew of robbers is often involved in committing a daylight robbery of a large sum of money. However, this is not always the case. Japan experienced its greatest robbery of the century in a silent and peaceful Tokyo suburb, just across the city's Fuchu prison. The crime scene, which occurred on a wet Tuesday morning in December 1968, looked like something out of a thriller action movie. All the thief needed was a brilliant deception, a little acting, and a good strategy for what to do next. Watch the video till the end, as you will be amazed to see how well planned and smoothly did the thief carry out this heist. How it happened. It was the year end. Toshiba was due to award bonuses to its factory workers, and for that reason, 4 employees of the Kokibunji branch of the Nihon Shintaku Ginko Bank were transporting 300 million yen, when suddenly, a motorcycle policeman stopped their car. The thief disguised as the policeman approached and informed the bank employees that their branch manager's home had been blown up. Furthermore, he warned them that the intelligence has received reports that they have a bomb underneath their car. Listening to this, the 4 men got out of their vehicle in no time. The robber then crawled beneath the vehicle to see if there was anything alarming. The 4 men saw smoke and flames rising from beneath the truck after about a minute. The cop rolled out, yelling that it was about to blow up. They were terrified and fled as quickly as they could. As they were running away, the policeman got in the car and drove off, along with the 300 million yen. Upon hearing no bang, the panic-stricken men got their senses back and looked behind, but the thief was long gone by then. The master plan. Now, you must be thinking as to why these 4 men believed the policeman news of the house manager's house being blown. The reason behind that was the letter their bank manager was receiving. Over the last several months, someone was continuously sending letters and threatening the employees and the bank manager lives. 4 days prior to the heist, the bank manager received another letter demanding 300 million yen, or his house would be blown up with explosives. Characters were cut from movie magazines and put together to make the letter. The cops were notified, and they did actually keep a close eye on the bank and his residence. After the heist took place, the 4 men contacted their manager, and to their surprise, bank manager's house was never bombed. Everything was planned by the thief for months, and now he had successfully gotten away with the bonus payments of 523 Toshiba workers, while disguised as a police officer. The huge investigation. The investigation into this robbery was thorough. Throughout Japan, 170,000 police officers went through 110,000 suspect names, using 780,000 composite pictures. However, they were unable to locate their thief. Various items were located on the ground, including a warning flare that the officer must have lighted while beneath the truck to imitate explosives. A total of 120 pieces of evidence were reported to have been left at the crime site, which is quite a lot. But police eventually discovered that some of the evidence had been strategically placed there to obstruct the investigation. The suspects. The case was thoroughly investigated, and a suspect emerged in the form of a 19-year-old boy. He was the son of a real police officer who had a police motorbike, but the suspect died a tragic death a week after, as he mistakenly consumed potassium cyanide. Despite the fact that his son had a history of involvement with the local mafia, the father insisted his son was innocent. His death was eventually ruled a suicide, and his innocence was established after a post-mortem examination. The deceased was never linked to any money. Then, it was speculated that someone with inside knowledge of the bank or its protocols for conveying money, the route the car would take, would have been involved with the thief, but the police never tied any of the workers to the robbery. The employees stated that they trusted what the phony officers said in their testimonies. They had no reason to believe the individual was a thief. Everything pointed to them being telling the truth, as the bomb threats had also been sent to their bank's manager a few days prior to the robbery, and the phony cop had also told them at the scene that the bank boss's home had exploded. A second key suspect emerged a year after the crime. An employee of the Canadian government's Tokyo office, in his mid-20s, was reportedly detained because he resembled the thief's composite photo. But this individual had alibis that turned out to be true, and he was removed from the suspect list. Years later, on November 15, 1975, a third key suspect emerged, just as the case was reaching its statute of limitations. The suspect was a friend of the 19-year-old victim of potassium cyanide poisoning. A huge sum of money was also discovered in the custody of the newly suspected man, which officials felt had links to the 1968 crime. The suspect, who would have been a teenager at the time of the crime, did not reveal how he came by his riches. Investigators were unable to link the money to the crime, and the suspect was not charged. Still in the air. Then, in 1975, the statute of limitations came into play, which bans prosecutors from prosecuting someone after a specific length of time has passed. By this time, no one had been found guilty of the crime. After 1988, all civil liabilities had also run out, allowing the perpetrator to freely exploit a book deal or appear as a guest on television to acknowledge what a genius he was for getting away with such a large sum of money. However, no one ever came forth boasting, and the identity of the thief has remained a mystery till now. The theft, which took place 53 years ago, has sparked a flurry of fiction in Japan, including novels, essays, films, and comics. The perpetrator is still on the loose today. Despite the absence of evidence and suspects to continue the investigation, this robbery is nevertheless regarded as one of the most well-thought-out and masterfully executed heists Japan has ever seen. We hope you enjoyed our video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss out on any of the amazing videos we're going to bring in the future.